Is it cold enough for you, Johnny Z?
Never.
Man, whenever I see negative in anything, I just feel like that wasn't supposed to happen. That was an accident.
It wasn't meant for that.
It wasn't meant for me,
know.
at least.
Yeah,
Thank
well,
you
that's
so
true.
much for joining us for KARE 11 News at noon. It's a frigid day outside. We're making sure that you're prepared to take on the temperatures if you have to. Plus, CC, Minnesota's Attorney General, is now suing firearm manufacturer Glock.
Yeah, we're learning a lot of new information. It's all surrounding people's ability to turn the company's handguns into machine guns. So I'm breaking down the claims in this lawsuit and what officials are asking Glock to change.
Okay, we'll definitely go into that. But first, let's take a look at this weather. Thank you for having the appropriate jackets on. I have to fuss at you today.
I did it for you.
Thank you.
Make sure, and my mom. And my mom's worried about me. 1 degree, look at that. We just broke the 0 mark so that they can be optimistic. So we are at 1-0 in St. Cloud, 4 below still in Brainerd. And look it up to the north. They just can't break it. I don't think Grand Rapids is going to break it up there. Why can they not? Well, they don't have, they have snow on the ground. They don't have bare ground. You can warm up quicker even at this time of the year. And one positive is the winds have lightened up today. And that's really why we don't have the impact today, because the wind chills are about 10 or 15 degrees warmer today. Hard to believe with the temperatures, but we're at 12 below. Yesterday, 27 below for the wind chill. So as the winds calm down, at least it's bearable if you have to be out there. Looking to the north, they hit 40 below this morning in Grand Marais. They're now at 25 below, and this is going to be their afternoon up in northern Minnesota, hanging out at 20 below 0. Well, here's what it looks like today. Not much, kind of embarrassing. 1, we might get to 4 or 5, 6. We're at 1, maybe we could see 6 or 7, but again tonight, dropping back to 0, maybe -1 or -2 overnight. Now, we will track a warm-up this weekend. That does mean it comes with precipitation Saturday and maybe a couple of kinds of precipitation. We'll time it out for you in your forecast.
John, thank you. You know, this is the kind of weather that you have to be extremely careful in. Just a few minutes ago, we saw that you could have dangerous consequences. Audrey Russo shows us how to prevent frostbite.
This is the kind of day that you do not want to be outside for more than a couple of minutes. It's not safe to wait at the bus stop. It's not safe to take the dog on a walk. It's really not safe to take a long walk from your car into the office. You're going to want to book it because, again, these cold temperatures are very, very dangerous. And just as a disclaimer, we're about to show you some pretty gnarly pictures of frostbite, but it's important that you know what it looks like. So when we're talking about frostbite, we're talking about when the temperatures dip, the wind chill to about -20. That is when the National Weather Service says you can start to get frostbite after about 25 minutes, maybe 30 minutes tops. So frostbite looks like grayish patches on the skin. They are waxy, they're a little bit firm to the touch, and frostbite feels like numbness, right? You can't feel anything once frostbite starts to set in. And that's actually dangerous both in the moment and as you're trying to warm up. The CDC says a lot of people will try to use an open flame, a heat lamp, some kind of fire to warm themselves up. And that's dangerous because you can't feel how hot those elements are on your skin, and that can cause more damage. They also say you should massage an affected area or walk on any potentially frostbitten toes because, again, that can cause more damage. They say the best thing that you can do is dip the affected area in some warm water, not scalding, just comfortably warm, and that will start to bring the temperature up slowly. Now, obviously, the safest option today is to stay inside. Unfortunately, not everybody has that luxury. So if you're experiencing homelessness, you can call 211 or the Hennepin County Shelter Hotline. They can point you in the right direction of just some warmer places to stay. The Harbor Light Shelter through the Salvation Army is also adding about 40 extra beds just to get more people out of the cold and out of harm's way. Back to you.
Thank you. And if you haven't already, be sure to download the free KARE 11 app. It'll help prepare you for the day. Get customized forecasts, weather alerts, and live radar anytime. Well, one of our top stories today, a new lawsuit facing gun company Glock filed right here in Minnesota. Just 2 hours ago, Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison made the announcement. As CC, I know you watched that media conference. What are officials claiming against the company?
Yeah, Ellison had a lot to say. He announced his office is suing gun manufacturer Glock over a switch that turns its semi-automatic guns into illegal machine guns. He says Glock has known about this problem for decades and refuses to fix it. Plus, Ellison says Glock is in violation of several Minnesota laws, and they're putting kids, communities, and law enforcement in danger. We're learning the Glock switches can be bought online for as little as $10, and installing them doesn't require any special tools. Data shows the amount of Glock switches recovered by Minneapolis police in 2023 was more than triple what they recovered in 2021. And Ellison says without Glock taking action, these numbers will continue to rise. He says preachers will do more funerals and families will grieve more children. Now, if you're wondering why the AG's office is only coming after Glock, Ellison says this issue is specifically a Glock problem. Data shows that 2 out of every 3 handguns sold in the U.S. is a Glock. We'll have more on what Ellison and Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara had to say about this lawsuit coming up at 4 and 6.
Cece, thank you. And in a little over an hour, the Hennepin County Board will meet to make a decision on its 2025 budget totaling $3 billion. It's planning for a 5.5% increase to the property tax levy in hopes of raising more than $1 billion in revenue. The median homeowner would pay an extra $44 next year. It's a lower figure than last year's hike and the ones proposed by St. Paul and Minneapolis. Now, over in St. Paul, Mayor Melvin Carter's office is reviewing the city's budget and determining next steps. The council approved a budget in defiance of his proposed tax levy. They approved the 2025 plan 5-1, with Council President Mitra July was the only no vote. She worked with the mayor to lower his proposed property tax increase from nearly 8% to around 7%, and the council went even lower, voting for a 5.9% increase. We'll have more on that back and forth in our next half hour. Well, the Wisconsin man who faked his own death and traveled to Eastern Europe has now been charged. We know that Ryan Borgward had been living in the country of Jordan after he went missing on Green Lake in August. After flying back home this week, he was charged with a misdemeanor of obstruction linked to the staging of his own death. Police say analysis of a laptop led them to believe that he had planned to head to Europe and misled investigators. He was put on a $500 bond. Well, just minutes ago, the Cannabis Advisory Council met to discuss the rollout of Minnesota's legalized marijuana sales. Now, it comes amid another turn in the state's licensing saga. Here's the details.
I'm Ian Russell. The Office of Cannabis Management has laid out a clearer picture for legal recreational cannabis rollout here in Minnesota. This comes after a judge ordered last month's lottery to be put on hold. Applicants in the social equity category will be able to apply in January, all other applicants in February. Lotteries for both categories will be held likely in June. Those who were denied will be able to request a refund of their pre-approval application fee through the first few weeks of January. According to OCM, it's unclear right now how many total licenses will be approved.